On one of my videos, a commenter said that the Bible is not history. And this was the response. Then what is the purpose of the Bible? Most people don't realize that the purpose of the Bible is to provide historical propaganda for a little known group called Hebrews and Israelites that emerged out of the Bronze Age collapse. There's absolutely zero mentioning of an Israelite or a Hebrew until the Merneptah Stele in the 1200s BCE. This is the first mentioning of a Hebrew or an Israelite. They did not exist prior to that. They were part of other groups. And then they merged and became the Hebrews and the Israelites. They took on many of the attributes and stories of previous civilizations, where there was the Sumerians, the Akkadians, the Phoenicians, the Canaanites, and many other groups. They were a Semitic group that had broke off from one of those other groups and then formed with the help of possibly the worshippers of the Aten and the Shashu people. But those people didn't have a history. They didn't have antiquity. And to the people of that day, having history and antiquity is a very important thing. So it did not matter that the walls of Jericho had fallen in 1550 BCE, and that the story of Jericho would have taken place around 1200 BCE, but the city of Jericho had not been inhabited until again in 1000 BCE. So therefore, these people just took on a story that could not be validated by anybody else who was around. So it's propaganda. The Bible is propaganda for a group of people who did not have a history and they were creating one. That is your Old Testament. And then later on, as the group does grow, they inflate even more history as far as the kingdom of David and Solomon and so on and so forth, based on coming out of Babylonian and Persian captivity. And then once we move into the realm of the New Testament, what we have is that a failed Messiah never seemed to have come, as well as Judaism was being disrupted within the Roman Empire. So together with the Romans, a more docile version of Judaism was created, and out of that you get the teachings of Christianity, which was a political tool used to create a docile version of Judaism, as well as a way to begin to control people who were looking for that Messiah, but that Messiah never came, as well as a way, I say control people, but it was the docile version was to control people. But those who started believing in this religion also needed to create their story of the Messiah who had never come. Paul thought that the Messiah would come during his time frame. He did not come. John of Patmos thought that the Messiah would come during his time frame. He did not come. And therefore, a story had to be created to talk about a Messiah being that was very similar to other tropes that they had had in previous religions of looking for a Messiah to bring them out of Roman control. Because many people in many different areas deemed the Romans as an evil empire and wanted to come off and under their control. And the story of a warring Messiah played the pivotal role in that. And as time grew on, that religion infiltrated within the Roman government and became the government of the Roman Empire into what we have today. So the purpose of the Bible in their time, olden times, was propaganda for people who didn't have a history. Then it became a battle cry for people who were looking to come out of Roman control. And then it became the property of the Romans to control an empire, to which we still see it somewhat active today. So y'all have a great day. And remember always, you got to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey. Good vibration.